Hey guys, so I thought I would just sit down really quickly and film a video on this look that I'm wearing right here. This is the look that I got posted to the NYX Cosmetics Instagram page, which was so cool, like a major highlight in my beauty career so far. So thank you so much, NYX. Like, it's amazing. Thank you. So anyway, I got a ton of requests on my Instagram page asking for a tutorial on this look, and I was a little hesitant because it's honestly so easy. What makes it look really cool and edgy and like difficult are the brows, which are super sculpted, and then obviously the lips, which are really crazy and edgy. So the star product is this one right here. This is the NYX Liquid Suede lipstick in the color Suede. It is the most incredible lilac purple. Oh my god. The liquid suedes are actually some of my absolute favorite liquid lipsticks of all time, both from the drugstore and high-end. They are so creamy, so long-lasting, so comfortable, so I highly recommend picking it up. I hope that you really enjoy this tutorial. This is actually the first time that I've gotten like a request to do like a specific makeup look that I've posted, so that's really cool, and that means a lot to me, so thank you so much. I really appreciate your comments and your feedback both on Instagram and YouTube. I swear I read absolutely everything, so I would love to keep connecting with you guys. Go ahead and subscribe, that's super important, and also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. Everything is EMilyamandamohr, all one word. I'm gonna link that right here, except for my Facebook, which is Emily Mohr Beauty. So yeah, that's everything, and I'm super excited that you guys wanted to see this video, and I'm just gonna jump into it now because I am rambling like crazy. Okay.
So since this look is super focused on the lips, I want to make sure that they look perfect and they are nice and exfoliated. So I'm doing a little bit of a lip scrub here with some lip balm, and then applying some of this Dior Lip Maximizer gloss as well, just while I'm doing my makeup, so I get a little bit of plumpness and also hydration. For the base, I am using some NYX Hydra Touch Primer. This is the coolest primer ever. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it, but basically like water gets released through the product as you rub it in. It's really, really cool. And then to minimize my pores, I'm using this Estee Edit by Estee Lauder Pore Vanishing Stick. And I've been using this quite a bit now. I do really like it, but I think that other primers minimize my pores a little bit better actually. But I do think that this is super nice and easy for on the go. And then for my foundation, I'm actually doing a little bit of a mixture, which I have been doing a lot of lately. And this is the L'Oreal Magic Skin Beautifier BB Cream in the shade Medium, and my Estee Edit Flash Illuminator in the shade Morning Light. I'm just mixing those two together on my hands and then rubbing that in my face. Basically, the L'Oreal product, it has little pigment beads in there. So as you rub it in, those burst, and then you get the color payoff then. And then I'm using my dampened beauty sponge from Real Techniques just to make sure everything's smooth and even. To do a little bit of concealing and priming my lids, I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade Medium, and then using my beauty blender to tap that out and make sure it is nice and blended. To do a little bit of highlighting underneath my eyes and also some spot highlighting around my face, I am using this L'Oreal True Match Lumi Super Blendable Concealer. Actually, I don't think it's Lumi. I think it's just Super Blendable Concealer, and I am in the shade Fair Light. I really like this because it's really, really creamy. So I'm just using this and then my beauty blender to tap it out and make sure I bring some light to the center of the face, and yep, that's pretty much it. To set under and around my eyes, I'm using this NYX color correcting powder in the shade Banana, which I've been really, really, really enjoying. I like it better than the yellow shade that comes in the Kat Von D palette actually, which is shocking and says a lot. It's just really fine and really easy to use. And then to set the rest of my face, I'm using my Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in the shade Naturally Neutral and a Zoeva powder brush. For my brows, I'm using this NYX Waterproof Eyebrow Gel, and mine is in the shade Chocolate. And I love this because it allows me to get really sharp, crisp lines around my brows. So I'm using just a little angled liner brush from Zoeva, and I'm starting at the top of my brow, building that shape first, and then going underneath my brow and building it up from there. And then you can see I'm doing little feathery hair-like strokes in the front and then making sure my tail is nice and pointed. And yes, so there's the two brows together. And then once I have them both done, I just like to go back and do a little bit of nitpicking and making sure that they look symmetrical. Not perfect, but you know, just close. And then I'm using a little spoolie just to go through the very front of the brows. And then to sculpt them out even more, this isn't really necessary, but I just used a flat shader brush and then some of that L'Oreal True Match concealer, and I'm just using this to define my brows even more, make sure they're perfect and super clean, and then blending away the edges using my dampened beauty blender. For eyeshadow, I'm using this Too Faced Matte Eyeshadow Collection, and first I am going into the color Chinchilla and just buffing this into my crease on both sides. I'm keeping the color relatively low. I don't want to build it up too high since it is kind of like a smoky eye, I guess. It's nice to keep the color down lower. And then to kind of fill in all the gaps, I'm using the color Vintage Violet and just putting this all over my lid up into the crease. Once I have that laid down, I'm using the color Coffee Bean on a smaller tapered blending brush and just putting this on the outer V of my eye and just depositing the color right there. And then I'm going to go in using a bigger blending brush just to make sure it looks nice and blended and seamless with all the other colors that I've put down so far. But seriously, that's pretty much it for the smoky eye. It's super simple. And then to line my waterline, I'm using this NYX Très Jolie Pitch Black Liner, and I'm just putting this on the top waterline. And then on the bottom, I'm using this Rimmel Scandaleyes eyeshadow stick, and this is in the color Paranoid Purple. Now, this isn't necessarily meant for your waterline. Like, I got it all over my contact lenses, so I had to go take them out, and that was kind of a nightmare. So if you have a purple liner, then that would be better. And then to go along the bottom lash line, I'm just using the color Vintage Violet again and a pencil brush, and then again using that bigger pencil brush from earlier and just blending it out, making sure the top lines up with the bottom. To prime my lashes, I'm using this Estee Lauder Little Black Primer, and I actually really like this. It's beautiful just to put on to have sort of like natural lashes, but it's a really, really nice base for mascara too. And then to coat my lashes again using an actual mascara, I'm using the Estee Lauder Sumptuous Bold Volume Lifting Mascara. I wasn't going for anything too crazy. I just wanted my lashes to look nice and black. To contour my face, I'm using the Go-To palette from NYX, and mine is in the shade Wanderlust, and I'm going into that contour shade at the very end. And to do that, I'm using my Zoeva 109 Luxe Face Paint Brush, and I'm first putting down the color where I want it the most. So under the cheekbone is the primary spot where I do that, and then I'm using whatever's left on my brush to blend around the rest of my face, so my temples and underneath my jaw, and then going back over that contour on the cheek to make sure it's nice and blended. And you can see the difference it makes between the two sides. It's just amazing. And then I'm using that same brush to go along the sides of my nose, and I put quite a bit of color down there, but I blend it out, so have no fear, it's gonna be okay, I promise. So I'm just blending that out, and then I'm using just a clean brush to kind of just go over the top of my nose and make sure it doesn't look too harsh or crazy. And you can see it looks more normal now. And then to go over my freckles, which I did this in my last video too, and I'm using my NYX eyebrow marker in the shade Medium, and I'm just dotting that over the places where I have a few freckles on my face. And then for my blush, I'm doing the lightest dusting of this NYX blush. This is the color Dusty Rose, and I don't want the focus to be on my cheeks. That's why I'm just putting the tiniest little bit on there. For my highlight today, I'm going to be using the NYX Strobe of Genius palette, and I am so incredibly impressed with this palette. Those are the top 4 shades there, and then here are the bottom 3. They're so beautiful, such a great variety of colors, and what I'm doing is I'm mixing those 2 kind of champagne-y shades, and I'm just putting those on the top of my cheekbones, as well as bringing them alongside the top of my brow. You'll see that here. And then I'm also going to put it down the nose, the Cupid's bow, underneath the brow, and also on the inner corners of my eyes. To line my lips, I'm using my NYX Nude Lip Liner, and I am just doing my natural lip line, except for not. I'm totally overlining a little bit here. It's actually not too crazy, but I just want, you know, my lips to look nice and full for this beautiful lipstick. So this is the NYX Liquid Suede lipstick in the color Suede. It is so pigmented, and you can see how creamy it is, and you only need like one coat of it. It speaks for itself. I really don't need to say anything about it. You know, this might not be for you, and that is totally fine. There are quite a few different shades in the range, and I know they're coming out with even more colors. So definitely head on over to wherever you can buy your NYX products. So Ulta is where I normally get mine, or Target, and pick some up. They're so good. And then to set my face, I am using this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Spray set, and that completes the makeup look. For perfume, I've been obsessed with mixing some perfumes from this commodity cocktail kit, and I've been loving the combination of wool and book. It's so pretty. And there you have it, guys. That is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching.